Welcome back to you, baby doll pumpkins. I love and appreciate every single one of you. This is the Bitcoin price. We are still moving around the 34 to 35K zone. We are doing the pump and the dump and the pump and the dump. Don't forget, when we are moving along these flags, Bitcoin can do a lot of nasty things. It can go up like, oh, wow, we really are going to the moon. Oh, no, we're not. And then we just continue like that. It can do things like that, or it can just go up and fake everybody out. Everybody is nervous. Everybody is waiting. I can tell you something, okay? Most people were actually nervous. Like, no one believes this pump. No one. Even I don't. I'm in disbelief. I'm telling you, like, now, I've seen this 1,000 times, man. I know what happens. It's some sort of fake exchange, market maker scam star, pushes it through here, gets all the liquidity, and then it goes up. It'll always break that previous low to get everybody out again, and then it comes back. We've just seen it so many times. We know it back to front, but you deserve a pump, a proper pump. So much juicy news for you, friends. I want to remind you something, okay? I want to remind you this. You know, why is the US Fed, the bug eaters themselves, mysteriously suing Bitcoin Magazine for CBDC FUD, right? I've got to remind you, it's because they are preparing to cut interest rates and stimulate, yes, stimulate you with consent in 2024. You mark my words. They are preparing for it. This is their preparation. Why? It's because they want to keep inflation down. If they are trying to target Bitcoin and Ethereum, they can at least strangle and make sure the gates remain closed so the people can't leave the city. They're poisoning everyone. You understand? They don't want CBDCs to be fudded because they want to make sure when they stimulate, when they print, which they know they have to, and it's all FUD, it's all BS from their lies. They know when they do that, that there's going to be people who instantly buy up crypto. They're kryptonite. They can't afford that. They do not want that mania. They don't want dog coins. They don't want any of that. Now, people, don't misconstrue what I say. There are going to be Soyboy cucks with rounded elbows who wear brown tarnished slippers. They will be saying, oh, they're just honest politicians and they're just doing their job. No, you move on to the side. And you go take whatever programming BS they put on the media, which has got you nowhere in life. Okay, you go listen to that and absorb that. For the rest of us, okay, we know that's not exactly what's going on. We know they're poopy heads. They're printing the currency. They've got to make sure the rats can't escape. They think of people as rats. You're not allowed to escape. You have limited cash transactions, bankless society, all this other garbage. You really want to go bankless, cashless society? Right? Not bankless society, cashless society. We're trying to go bankless. But not the YouTubers, unfortunately. You know, sometimes they're your friends, sometimes they're not. Don't forget, CBDCs. I'm going to use this R word, okay? This R word means to abuse without consent in a sexual manner. They are here to do that and pillage the population through debasement of purchasing power. You know, some people say, no, the language is too extreme. No, it's not. What are you talking about? Habib, you're literally... You know what, friends? If I removed 40% of your purchasing power, do you know what that means? That means for the next 10 years, you're working for free for 4 of those years. You know that? You do know that, right? You're literally working for free. Is that not slavery? Is that not scummery? It's dictatorships, friends. It's a stealth hidden tax, and it's so aggressive that their job is to keep the population blinded. Here's the thing. We have a YouTube channel here that you like, subscribe, bell button, all to. You appreciate me. I appreciate you. Left hand on the right shoulder. Shock the algorithm. I'm trying to teach the population. I'm not a target. Why? I don't have 4 million subs. Who cares? They're like, who's this little fart in the wind? One day it will be. And I'm going to have to use even more metaphors. It'd be funny one day if I'm on camera, just drawing stuff on the whiteboard. I'm like, no, I've got to say this word, but I can't. By the way, they do that. We're going to speak about that in another episode, friends. So this is why it's coming. They're going to cut. They're going to stimulate. They know this. They've been bluffing the whole time. I've been telling you they've been bluffing the whole time. And it's all going to make sense when crypto is valued much higher. And you'll be like, oh, golly gee, now that's what's going on. But it's the sad part. When I tell you it's probably time to get you euphoric, you've got to start shaving off some liquidity from your portfolio. No one's going to want to do that. Okay, so you just got to remember these times. Mr. Nardo, okay? Nardo, I thought I read the word nacho, friends. I am very hungry. I don't think they're going to cut rates until unemployment hits 8%. Dude, just settle down there, sir. I know you want the world to end, this guy. I'm no expert, but I think max pain is coming for the over-leveraged. The game always changes, but remember this from 06 to 08 GFC. I bet we'll see $1,500 checks handed out. Yes, but this is the stat you need to know. In the past 80 years, whenever the unemployment rate ticks plus 0.5% from the low, they cut. Do you think it's a coincidence that the past 70 years, there's a 100% strike rate of this, and now coincidentally, the unemployment rate has ticked 0.5% from the low, and now they're at the same time going after Bitcoin Magazine, telling them, hey, stop fudding the CBDCs. Stop trying to FUD us. Not a coincidence. Do you think that's a coincidence? Honestly, they've had all this time to do it. Now that it's time to go, they're doing the preparations. If you're on the side of the corrupt SEC, like bankless are, if you're on the side of the US Fed, you are a soy boy, okay? By the way, virgins are cool, all right? But this guy is using it in a derogatory way. Look at this. He's got a creased shirt as well. Here's the thing. A rare photo capturing a wild soy boy as she observes a Pokemon card set. This is actually really cool to see, by the way. She owns stocks and bonds in the 60-40 portfolio. This is the bread and butter. You know how in crypto we all worship Bitcoin? In stock world, they all worship the 60-40. They're like, the 60-40, it's gone up forever. Now, this chart is the history of the 60-40, and there are a few lines here. So the orange line is bonds. You see how bonds, friends, starting from a long time ago, 1994. Okay, start from 1994. The bonds are the lowest. So, yes, if you own bonds, I have no other way to say it, but you're a soy boy little cuck. All right, now, of course, it's tongue-in-cheek. You need bonds as you get older because of the volatility. I understand that. But you're getting destroyed and pillaged and abused from the government through debasing super aggressively. All right, so bonds are poopy, very poopy, okay? Look at the blue one. The blue one stonks. That's full-on 100% stonks. Isn't that sweet? It's great, except for the downside parts, like this part. You see, like, whoa, stocks went down, right? The gray one is the 60-40 portfolio. If you zoom in, which you are zoomed in, friends, you see in the down times, the portfolio, see this, look at the gray. The gray stops here, but the blue goes there. That's the S&P 500. So that's showing you during the GFC, the 60-40 portfolio helped you. Why? Because you have bonds in there, they're still paying you a coupon and the bond price goes up because they're going to cut rates. Remember, bonds and yields, bond price and yields are inverted. So people come, some people's like, oh crap, times are bad. Let me sell my stocks, buy the bonds, and the bonds will go up. So that's what everybody's been doing. But why is this person a soy boy cuck? It's because the whole thing's a scam now. It's because the inflation they're reporting is different to the actual inflation they're debasing. That's why it's a scam. They're telling you, oh, the inflation's 3%, but they're printing 5.5% every year. And they go, this is what you probably say, there's no possible way this is true. Friends, Habibets, dudes and dudettes, I've made so many videos to tell you, yes, this is 100% true. You're probably wondering, how do they get away with it? They get away with it by telling the university and Keynesian lecturers and economists like Paul Krugman, all right? They tell them, you must tell people that CPI inflation is the real inflation and M2 money printing is not inflation. And what they do is they show you different data sets where there's time delays, where they go, oh, look at this, we printed money, but there was no inflation until like 2 years later. This type of obfuscation is very necessary for them to keep the gates closed so people don't open their eyes. If people open their eyes, it's game over. Okay? We want everybody to gently come over. Don't alert them too much. And guess what? Even if we start alerting them too much, they're going to do something like ban crypto outright and just cap the rally anyway. I promise you that. So that's what the governments do, friends. They got to protect the man. If you hired someone to do the job, that's what you got to do. By the way, this dude probably bought SHIB at the high. $80. True story. Family, friends called me literally at the exact SHIB high. And they put like $400 in. I was like, man, I love yous, but oh gosh, it was just like the exact SHIB high. I'll never forget that. October 2021. It's also nice to see ChainLINK, friends. ChainLINK, part of the Bug Eater DeFi group. There's only one coin. This is it. ChainLINK's at $11.50. I'm liking a series of green candles. At some point, there's going to be a bit of a pullback. If you put it on the monthly chart, remember, the monthly chart tells you a lot. You start to get really exciting. Green candle number 3. You understand? Green candle number 3 is super excitement. Okay, that's what happens. If it happens in 1 or 2, then it's just like a little burst and then it stops down. You can do this for everything else. It's a good way to measure the crowd and what they're thinking and feeling. Right? We also have Pulse and PulseX. Pulse is still making its way towards day one sack. This is psychologically important. I think, if you're trying to front run the future, interpret information, I believe all the soy boys on Twitter who roam around there and YouTube, if they weren't such little cucks, I reckon, and they're watching PulseChain, PulseX, and HEX, I reckon they would buy Pulse up plus 100% from here. Based off Richard Hart's tweets, the mood, his MP3 that I recorded, the recording, all of these, and the way he's speaking, and the SEC losing, I think we're still undervalued. Like, purely just based off buying off the news. This is not based off fundamentals, future growth, Ethereum, or nothing. They're like adding giant premiums to that. But I think this is a plus, deserving of like a plus 100%. But of course, I mean, we're long and we're pretty biased, right? Also want to show you this. I thought it was funny. Is Richard Hart watching from the pond? I mean, this is actually wild, okay? So I literally made a video. I said, if I was master of the Richard Hart universe, I would pump EHEX. And here's why. Literally a day later, EHEX starts its 1 of 5 day rally to reach a plus 200% pump. Crazy. All right. Then I made an episode talking about my love for Pokemon Island and Japan while I get a Japanese sub-voice reader of AI video also made, and I uploaded it. And then Richard Hart, I'm not joking, friends, literally that day makes a post. He confirms friendship with Japan. Spooky. Number 3, I then mention the origin address. Sometimes it could be a duck. And for the first time I mentioned, it could be a squirrel, actually, you know? It could be a squirrel. And now, for some reason, he's bullish on squirrels. Like, of all the critters in the forest. Look at this squirrel, by the way. I like AI is getting really good. Look, friends, look how good AI is. It does fingers perfect. It's got the charts here. Oh my gosh, man. This is wild. This is too good. This is way too good, going too fast. Normally, these things take like 5 years for you to adjust. No, man, it's been 5 months. Coincidentally, it's also been around 5 months since we started tanking for Pulse, PulseChain, and HEX. Remember, we launched 6 months ago, and it was bound by June 15. We're like, uh-oh. That's when we started to realize. Now, we still got a long way to go. I mean, PulseX still more than 80% down from day one sack. It's going to be a long while. There are a lot of ratios you can look at. So I get asked, you know, what are you observing? What are you doing every day when you check it? Just check the basic ratios. Trust me, I used to have like 400 charts up, friends, and they're freaking useless. I'm telling you. I looked at everything. I was like, oh, it's as simple as Bitcoin up, we up. Bitcoin down, we down. That's it. That's all you need to know. Okay, that's 90% of what you need to know. If you're bored with that extra 10% and you have a trading itch, right? So this is why I talk about ratio trading, friends. Ratio trading, there's no leverage. Okay, this is what I like. Okay, ratio trading. Okay. Now, you know, I'm saying don't trade. You shouldn't trade. But if you're going to, okay, no leverage. Okay, no leverage. Can accumulate in safe ranges. Okay, and 3, no pressure to get stopped out. But you got to hold, right? You got to hold. There actually is always pressure on the prices moving down. Okay, prices moving down. Wait, nicer way to make more yield. So this is what I like about it. Ratio trading within an ecosystem. Don't think, okay, I'm going to go ratio trade everything else. There's nothing. The only thing you can go out and ratio trade, and I know you're not going to do it, is XRP to Stellar. Now, what I've done right here is I have constructed manually for you. This is Stellar over XRP. Do you understand? So this going up is Stellar strength, right? And it going down is XRP strength or Stellar weakness against XRP, right? You probably assume, XRP is the bigger daddy. And I mean, looking at this, this is just, it's the most fascinating thing. Like, Stellar is a vegan hippie version of XRP. Okay, it's funny, but look at this is the most god tier range chart of all time. Like, it's funny. This is the craziest part. Look how little the XRP SEC case mattered. Where was he? Around June, July, here. Yeah. Look how much he mattered, friend. Look, you can't even see it on the chart. It was actually here. You see that? That's wild. What the hell's going on? You defeated the SEC after all those years, and you couldn't do anything on this ratio. Okay, you couldn't do anything. That's crazy, man. I mean, what's even more crazy is, look, it's still at the bottom here. This is like, it's still going sideways. You should have seen this go down big time, back down towards like 0. That's like, because that's XRP strength, and then maybe come back up later on. No, it just stayed around here. So obviously, don't do it. Don't do it at all. But this, I'm just telling you, you want to play within ecosystems. They're rare, man. They're rare. One coin, one founder. They don't do much. But when you have an advantage here, like that's why Richard Hart's he's like an Elon Musk dude. He's like, okay, they've got a formula in their head with how they make projects, and they produce more than one thing. That's why it's super rare to do that. I think it's fascinating that we can actually come across this, right? So that's why ratio trading, right? That's why you can say, not guaranteed, by the way. You can accumulate in safe ranges, because if the mind share of the people's the same, and there's a big crossover with the subset of people in there, then the ratio is, it's nicer, right? ETH BTC is also almost similar. ETH BTC has been going sideways for 2 years, right? There's also no pressure to get stopped out, but it's not a real reason, because you saw with HEX and PHEX, like people were like, oh, red candles? Please, let me sell everything. Oh, Collie Chi, let me sell everything. Oh, wow, there's red candles. Let me get out. So that's another way to look at it as well, right? And it is a nicer way to make more yield. That's why I like it. Like, just got to remind you again, friends. Got to remind you, if this chart goes up to here, let's say it actually goes up to here one day, right? Your entry from here to here, you make 2.6x on your HEX. Okay, so you made 165%. You're like, wow, this allowed me to cheat the system. Instead of staking for 8 years to get this, right? That's probably a very long time. No, more, yeah, that's a long time, right? 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it is. You were able to get it now. Congratulations. But of course, you needed to go up and not down. So you're still taking a punt. It's not safe. That's why don't do it with everything. I told everybody not to do it with everything. What do people do? Well, okay, they did it with everything, and then they panicked. All right, so this is not cut out for everyone. What I'm doing is I'm introducing you. It's kind of like if you're in an area where everybody is like smoking really hard drugs, no one's got their teeth, no one's got a job, and then you go to the city and some friends are like, hey, you know, what we do to let loose is we drink alcohol on like Friday nights. You know, it's not the best. Water's better than alcohol, but, you know, we still got our teeth, and we don't run around doing cartwheels all day. You know what I mean? We don't have sunken eyes 16 hours of the day. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing with you, there is a way for you to participate in the trading itch that doesn't involve meme coin rug scams, 1% win rate, and also doesn't involve leverage with a full-on stop out. So this is just another way to trade. And why I like it, obviously, is no one does it. No one does it, friends. And if they do it, look, everybody tried to do it, everyone got destroyed. Why? You just click sell. You just have to keep accumulating. All right, so I've just introduced something to you. That's why I brought you many things on this channel, many top calls, bottom calls, but this is what I wanted to show you, that this is very unique. I hope one day there's more ecosystems out there to explore, but right now, screw it. No one else knows about it. Screw everybody on Twitter. Don't worry about everyone on Twitter. Everyone out here. I mean, not in PulseChain, PulseX, or ChainLINK. I'm talking about like outsiders who just think they're too good for everyone. Just don't worry about them. Let them do their own thing. By the time they realize this is the thing, trust me, it's all over, okay? The spreads, there'll be so many formulas and arbitrage and hedge funds who like figure out the wallets and who they are, and they'll be able to tell, okay, there's a big crossover from these communities. Like they'll be actually having formulas and on-chain scanning stuff, and it'll take away the magic and the disconnection. So the fact that these things stretch so far, it really is opportunity. You know, if this thing didn't stretch, imagine we were just going sideways here like this, you'd get nothing. You literally get nothing. You go, okay, what if I buy here and sell up here? You're paying slippage, what, for 10% maybe, if you're lucky. So that's why these big disconnections can bring you big opportunity. And I've introduced something new to you today. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll catch you very soon.